Third day, a third day. It's a third day of teasers, and this one is a double feature. We got 2 star signs today, and it is a wild adventure up to this point. So we're gonna do what we've been doing. We're gonna watch the it's now a double feature here. It's like a minute and 50 seconds, 45 seconds, however long it is, and we're gonna go over the 2 star signs that are featured in this and go through any kind of, again, vague or obvious clues from the little teaser trailers. And to be totally honest, nothing has changed minus the voiceover and the 2 additional star signs. Before we actually jump into this, though, I do want to give, like, not a shout out, but I gotta say that this has been such a fun ramp up to a DLC or a Game 3 launch. I think that we can all agree now at this point, this is the teaser for Game 3, especially after today's set of teasers. I think it's pretty well cemented in all of our heads what this all means. So I just a huge hats off here to CA for actually, like, giving us a fun little, like, crumbs clue teaser methodology to getting to this wild level of speculation across the last 5 days or so. It has been way more enjoyable than just like a, hey, here's like a nondescript letter that kind of sets up for what might happen tomorrow, or here's like a GIF with some animated background and stuff like that, and something like pop out and you're like, oh, is that a rat? Like, oh, it's a Skaven DLC. Of course it's Skaven DLC. Just saying, it's a lot of fun. I'm super stoked on it. So let's jump into the actual clip, talk about that real quick before we jump back to the old Warhammer Astrology in the wonderful world of fantasy where all zodiac signs should exist. So jumping into this, we're going right into the Grand Astrolabe, as always, as we swing into the room of our Celestial Astromancer. Nothing for the most part has changed. The background is still the same. We get our weird little visitor, or who looks to be the narrator, and we peer through the looking glass once more to see both of the previous constellations, and now the drummer appears to us. And what's interesting here is that this is the first time we get an idea for what time of year this is. Because he says, you know, this is something that only appears in the autumn, that defies the laws of astronomy here. And we also get rhys cauldron, the second star sign for this teaser trailer. So we've gotten one before, then another one. Now we got 2 for 1 right there. A little double action, in and out animal style. And I love it. So we now have the drummer, we have rhys cauldron, we have Gungry's baldric, and then we also have got the piper. And we talked about those other 2 signs in our last video. So let's jump over now to the RPG to discuss a little bit more about these signs. We'll open up with the first sign that we see, and the one we actually talked about last time too was, again, the drummer. So the sign of excess and hedonism, ascendant in late summer, early autumn, appearance, drum, qualities, excessive, hedonistic, and celebratory. The sign of the drummer is viewed differently throughout the Empire. Some see it as a sign of celebration, whilst others believe it to be a sign of the steady decline of man toward chaos. A character born under the sign tends to be extreme in any decision he makes, taking things further than most. So that's just dripping with Slaanesh all over it. The word hedonism alone is now allied with the Age of Sigmar's version of them, now called the Hedonites of Slaanesh. So well, there we go. We have our third chaos demon, or I'm sorry, chaos god. Now, as we move down to rhys cauldron, the sign of mercy, death, and creation. And we know Papa Nurgle to be not just this god of pestilence, he's more a god of the circle of life, of both death and creation, of birth and death, of course. So, sign of mercy, death, and creation, ascendant in early winter, again, defying yet again all these different seasons, swapping all over the place in the appearances. Well, a cauldron. And we know that Papa Nurgle's always brewing his pestilent, disgusting schemes in this cauldron, and he makes a new pox every so often and sets it about the world. Qualities: righteous, fearless, and merciful. A highly revered star sign, rhys cauldron is associated with all aspects of nature by astrologers. Characters born under this sign are known to view death as merely the next step on a journey. They are fearless when fighting and merciful to less fortunate innocents. They will vehemently take steps to cleanse the world of mutants whenever possible. And your star sign today says that your horoscope means that a lot of bountiful good is going to come and make your heart full. Wait, sorry, no, something different. But still, we get this, again, obvious hint towards Nurgle. So if we look at all these together, one more time now. Again, the times: early winter for Raya's Cauldron. We had autumn for the drummer, autumn again for the piper, and then Grungy's Baldric, we had late spring, early summer. So these are all over the place. They should not be appearing at this time. And the Celestial Astromancer kind of leads it off by saying like, oh man, Sigmar, save us, the time has come. And I think that means we're going to be seeing a trailer tomorrow. We have all 4 of the Chaos Gods represented now by star signs telling us, Grungy's Baldric is that mighty one for martial pursuits in Khorne. Then we've got the Piper, the sign of the Trickster in Tzeentch. And then we get the Drummer, the sign of excess and hedonism in Slaanesh. And swinging on over to Raya's Cauldron, we get the sign of mercy, death, and creation with Big Papa Nurgle. So all 4 are represented. And I am now, rather than this being like, I don't know, is it a Warhammer 2 DLC? Is it a Warhammer 3 game? I'm not really sure. I think it's definitely evident of a Warhammer 3 hint, teaser, leading up to a trailer, which sounds like tomorrow. It didn't say like, hey, there's another sign coming tomorrow, unless they're going to do one for the Horned Rat as a 5th Chaos God, which is like not something in the Warhammer Fantasy continuum. It's more part of Age of Sigmar. But that is exciting. And it begs the follow-up question, are we looking at a mono-god situation? Are we going to be seeing Khorne as its own army selection choice in Warhammer 3, along with Slaanesh, Tzeentch, and Nurgle, respectively? Or are we going to see them represented as an undivided faction that you can then bolster your army with versions of the marks of chaos for respective units? I'm not sure. This doesn't really tell us much. Hopefully we'll find out a ton more with a trailer and some sort of announcement. Now, if we all remember from Warhammer 2's announcement, it was a pretty slim announcement. They pretty much said, hey, here's Warhammer 2 coming out. Here are the factions that are going to be covered in the game. And that was pretty much it for the first month and a half. And then they did a month-by-month showcase of each race, divulging what their roster was and going into a little bit more about them, giving us a cinematic trailer for each individual race as well. So I think tomorrow we'll start that first trailer for Game 3, which will then lead to multiple months leading up to whenever that supposed release date is, unless it's like, I think May and September are their 2 favorite release windows for games. We had Troy come out last September, and we had a DLC come out in last May time, and we also had 3 Kingdoms come out in May. Warhammer 2 came out in September. So I think those are the 2 big launch windows that they try to stick to for major DLC or for any kind of full-length game releases. So I think it might be too close to a May launch schedule, but I mean it's still 4 months out. Or I'm sorry, 3 months out at this point now. We're in February. So it's possible, but I think this might be ramping us up to a September launch with a lot of information in the coming months. So we'll see how this all plays out. I'm excited for a possible trailer tomorrow. I think that's what we're looking forward to. From the way that this teaser ended, it sounded very much like, oh, Sigmar save us, it's coming. And we're like, oh, what the hell's coming, buddy? So again, to recap here, my big speculation is that we've just now seen the 4 signs of the 4 Chaos Gods in times that were not corresponding. None of these star signs should have appeared at this time. And I think this is a heavy hint now, fully a heavy hint towards Game 3 and a possible trailer tomorrow. So let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this. I know a lot of you guys cracked this. There was one person on the forum that had just like outright said like, as soon as the first one hit, he was like, it's going to be these 4. I know it. I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. Then after the second one, I was like, yeah, maybe he's right. And then today I'm like, he was right. He was dead on. So the drummer, the piper, Grungy's Baldric, and then the Raya's Cauldron. the 3 or 4 star signs that appeared. I know a lot of you guys were bouncing around some of the other ones that I was as well too. I know we looked at the Dancer. That was one I thought could be a good one for Slaanesh, and I had looked at Wymund the Anchorite last time for the sign of the Enduring, and it looks like we didn't get either one of those. But hopefully we'll find out tomorrow with a trailer what all this means. But let me know in the comment section below how you're feeling about this, what you think. Is it a Game 3 indeed trailer? Like, I think you really can't split hairs now anymore, unless this is going to say, hey, Beastman DLC, and it's going to be all about the Chaos Gods. But I think that they've been saving that, back pocket for Game 3. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, all that fun action. And let me know what you think about this teaser. But have a good one, and take care.